For most of us, Lego is that box of bricks, that instruction book. But what if I told you that's just the starting line? Let's dive into the incredible world that opens up right after you finish that very last page.
You know that feeling. You've got the box, you can practically hear the bricks rattling inside, and you're about to kick off a new project. That quote right there from the official Lego site, it just nails it. It's this promise of pure satisfaction, of making something awesome with your own two hands. But hang on, before we jump ahead to what happens after the build, let's talk about the build itself. Because believe it or not, there's kind of an art to getting the most out of it, and Lego themselves actually have some great advice on how to make the whole experience even better. And what's really cool here is how this turns a simple hobby into, well, something almost mindful. So first up, you gotta carve out your space. Doesn't matter if it's a tiny corner of a desk or the whole dining room table, make it yours. Second, organize those bricks. Pour them into shallow bowls or trays. It stops that endless, frustrating rummaging. Third, schedule your build time. Seriously, treat it like an appointment with yourself to just chill out. And finally, pick the right set for you, for your space and your skill level. It's all about setting yourself up for a great time. Okay, check this out. Here is a brilliant little hack, and this comes straight from a Lego employee. Use the sticker sheet as a bookmark in the instruction manual. How clever is that? It keeps your spot between building sessions and, maybe more importantly, it keeps those precious stickers perfectly flat and safe. See? It's these little pro tips that make all the difference. So, you've done it. The final brick is in place. The model is complete and it looks amazing sitting on your shelf. But, for a whole lot of builders out there, this is actually where the real fun is just getting started. So, what does come next? This is where we take the leap. We're moving from following the instructions to forging your very own path. It's the moment you start looking at your entire collection of bricks not as one specific model, but as a giant palette of infinite possibilities. And to really get into that world, you gotta know a key piece of lingo. MOC. It stands for My Own Creation. And this right here is the absolute lifeblood of the adult fan community. A MOC can be literally anything. A spaceship, a skyscraper, a sculpture, anything designed purely from a fan's own imagination. Now, of course, to build these amazing MOCs, you're gonna need bricks. Probably a lot of them. The Lego website itself has this fantastic pick-a-brick service where you can order individual pieces. You can search by category, find a replacement part for a set you already own, or, and this is the big one for custom builders, you can shop by color. And speaking of color, just how big is that palette we're talking about? Well, according to Bricklink, which is the biggest online marketplace for Lego parts, there are 212 official Lego colors that have been produced. I mean, that is just an incredible spectrum of creativity waiting for you. Now, building MOCs might feel like a solo thing, but what it really does is connect you to this massive global community of fellow creators. There's this whole fan ecosystem that's a universe all on its own, running right alongside the official world of Lego. And this chart just breaks it down perfectly. You've got the official Lego world over here, new set releases, official stores, replacement parts, but then you have the fan world over here, in-depth reviews on sites like the Brick Fan, huge secondary markets like Bricklink where you can find literally any piece ever made, and forums like Eurobricks where fans share their mind-blowing creations and even their own instructions. And when I say mind-blowing, I really mean it. The passion, the skill, the pure creativity you see in the fan community is just staggering. And here's just a tiny little taste of what's out there. On forums like Eurobricks, people post stuff like this every single day. You've got everything from insanely detailed sci-fi ships like this wild mashup of a TIE fighter and classic space, to a modern take on a classic TV studio set, and even a completely brick-build replica of a Renault Espace F1 car. The creativity is just, wow, it's endless. What's so cool is that Lego has really started to embrace all this fan creativity. The Bricklink Designer Program is the ultimate bridge connecting the company and the community. Fans can submit their MOCs, and the very best ones actually get turned into real limited edition sets that people can buy. A fan's dream can literally become an official Lego set on a shelf. How cool is that? So, we've gone on this journey from just building a set to understanding this deep, creative, massive world that lies just beyond it. The sheer depth of this hobby is just, it's incredible. And to give you one last little example of just how deep it goes, just look at the history of a single color, light gray, a total staple for decades, was retired back in 2008 and completely replaced by light bluish gray. Now that might sound like a tiny, nerdy detail, but it's a huge deal in the community. It totally affects how builders create models that look authentic and consistent. It's a level of detail you'd never even think about just grabbing a box off a toy store shelf.
So, when you've got hundreds of colors, thousands of unique parts, and a whole global community of creators cheering you on, that old cliché really does become true, doesn't it?
So the next time you finish a Lego set, don't just see it as a finished model. See it as a brand new pile of parts, a fresh set of possibilities. The only question left is the one you see right there.